Hey guys, Dewey Runs here. We have a Thanksgiving themed event. Sorry, it's not Thanksgiving, it's Friend Fest. This is clearly not inspired by Thanksgiving at all because we're talking about an international community, and Thanksgiving is clearly just an American holiday. So we're talking about Friend Fest, which was in no way, shape, or form based off Thanksgiving. So I'm going to talk about some of these quests here. As it comes up, I've been pretty critical of quests that require this kind of clunky interaction with other people for various reasons, depending on the quest. So I'll continue to do that as we go forward for a number of reasons here. There's one quest in particular, the trade a friend for a Nidorino or a Nidorino or a Nidorina that I think people are going to tell me I'm wrong about. And I think I know what they're going to say in advance. So I'm going to counter their counter in advance. Am I setting up a straw man? Probably, but whatever. That's the point of the quest review, right? So let's get into it. First quest I wanted to talk about is add 3 friends for a Nido Queen or a Nido King. This is maybe the worst quest out there. This is a 1-star quest. I'm tempted to give it 0. I'm very tempted to give it 0. It's very close, but not quite. Why is this a 1-star quest? Well, there's no reason to do it. I would not do this quest if I was sitting, waiting for people to show up to a raid and I literally nothing else to do. Because the amount of effort you have to throw into it does not pay off. First of all, you can't do it with the same friend. So if you're thinking, I'll just remove and re-add my buddy next to me or my alt next to me 3 times in a row, that only works for the first friend. You need 3 unique friends, and believe me, the game does keep track of it. So the amount of time and setup that goes into this, DMing people, add, remove me, which I don't understand the point of that. Seems weird. So now you go online and find random codes from people. It doesn't make any sense. Queen and King are not meta relevant in anything outside of some weird nuanced online tournaments that have weird rule sets that are only valid for like a month at a time. Not worth it. So this is an auto toss as far as I'm concerned. 1 star. The next one. The next 2 are actually kind of similar. So I'm going to talk about them. They're almost the same for one exception. I'm going to talk about one of them first. The first one is trade a Pokemon with a friend for a Nidorina or a Nidorino. I'm going to give this 2 stars. This is what I feel like people are going to criticize me for, but I'm going to talk about why I think it's 2 stars first. Nobody needs either one of these 2 things, and the trading mechanic again, I feel is implemented in a way where it favors people with alts, which is technically against the rules. But independent of that, it's weird to me. It's clunky to pull out another phone, do that. If you have another friend walking around with you, fine, bust it out. But I don't like these ones that favor either spoofers, people with alts, weird kind of sketchy, lame, I will call it lame gameplay. Like that. The reward is fine, I guess. You don't really need it, just like you don't need a Nido Queen or King, but you get a little bit of dust out of it. So, again, because it's a weird, clunky quest and it favors or biases people that technically break the terms of service, I don't really care about that, but it's weird to me that it would favor alters. I'm going to give this 2 stars. Now, here's what I think people are going to do. They're going to message me. They're going to drop a comment. They're going to say, Dewey, you're overlooking the value of this quest. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to not catch them right now. You're supposed to drop them in your stack, and then in 3 weeks, Community Day is going to roll around, and Community Day is going to have double dust. And if you have a star piece on, you get 900 dust per catch of these. All right, let's play your game. I'm going to tell you why that is terrible. I'm going to set this up like the Black Friday thing. People will get in line at like 7 p.m. on Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow, during Friend Fest, and they'll hang out in line for like 12 hours. And why do they do that? Because they want to save $50 on a TV. So their time is essentially worth $4.50 an hour, essentially. They're working for $4.50 an hour is really what it comes down to. And that's probably not smart. I don't know why people do that. But this is kind of the same thing here. You can't look at just what the end result is in a vacuum. Yes, you can say Nidorino or Nidorina or 900 dust if you do this right. But the same thing, you can't say that TV is $450 instead of $500 either. What you have to look into is what you have to do to make that happen. So to get this TV for $450 instead of $500, you have to sit in line in the cold and lose sleep and lose your mind and be uncomfortable around strangers for 12 hours. And for this, what do you have to do for that? Well, let's talk best case scenario. You have an alt with you, and you drive around with the Quest scanner, and you take, what's the fastest you're going to get and complete each quest? 5 minutes, you go to one, you go on your alt, you do a clunky tray, and then you drive around to the next one. So best case scenario, you stack 100 of these. The eventual payout is 90,000. So if you want to spend 500 minutes to get 100%, about 200% more dust, you're basically working for 500 minutes to get 60,000 extra dust. Is that really worth it? You also have to think about what you're losing in the meantime. What you're losing in the meantime is the ability to stack anything else. What if there's something else you want to stack? What if they put dinos in quests all of a sudden and you want to stack those so you can double down on the candy that you get during the double candy portion of Community Day? On top of that, you're also missing out on the stuff during Community Day. You know how long it takes to catch 100 things in your stack even with the quick catch method? That takes forever. So now you're not even really gaining 60,000 dust because you're also losing out on, I'm going to make a rough estimate here, of 30 minutes of catching stuff during Community Day. So really, at most, I think you're really gaining about 30,000 dust. So you're spending 500 minutes to get 30,000 extra dust. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. So don't do that. That's very, very, very bad. It's bad. It's naughty. It's bad. Don't do it. You can do better. You can catch stuff in the meantime. It's going to be so much more time efficient, so much more value efficient. Okay, so again, trade, 2 stars. The next one is almost the same thing, but I'm going to bump it up 1. Essentially the same quest is win a trainer battle against another trainer for a Dodrio or a Doug trio. So again, similar setup. It's it's an evolved stage, so you get a little bit extra dust out of it. You don't want. I know you're thinking about stacking it. Don't stack it. It's a bad idea. The reason why I'm going to bump, actually, I'm going to bump it back down. I was originally going to bump it up to 1 star for a 3-star quest because as opposed to trade, at least you have like some flexibility in terms of like you can message one of your buddies and say, can you shoot me a battle real quick? So you have a little bit of flexibility with like not needing another person or maybe an alt, to do that. Now I think about it, it's winner trainer battle. So what does that mean? Well, chances are maybe the other person also has a winner trainer battle. So really, you have to do this twice because it's not just battle somebody, it's win a battle. So really what this is battle another trainer twice for a Dodrio or a Dugdrio. Maybe some of the times they don't, so we'll call it battle another trainer 1.5 times. So advantage, up 1 star because it's a little more flexible. We're gonna bump it down again to 2 stars because you're probably gonna have to do this twice to make it fair for the other person. So this is another clunky, inefficient 2-star quest. All right, let's talk about the mystique of this quest, which is my favorite quest and I think people are going to overlook. It's the same quest essentially, but it's catch a male or female Nidoran to catch a female or male Nidoran. So the flip side. It's really close to a 5-star quest, but I can't quite get there. I'm going to make this a 4-star quest. This quest is borderline broken once you get a little bit of setup. What is that setup? Basically, complete this quest 3, 4, 5 times with things in the wild. The Nidorans, male Nidorans, female Nidorans are out there. They shouldn't be too difficult to find. Once you get those at the front of your stack, you are golden. This is basically an auto complete. You get the quest, you go on your stack, you finish the quest, and then you stack that. So it's infinite value. You cannot start losing on these unless you go on some terrible streak where you are not seeing any of these in the wild, and somehow you screw something else up with another quest and you start eating away. Once you get 3 or 4 or 5 of these in your stack, it is game over. This is an auto complete here. Why is it not 5 stars? Well, generally I reserve 5 stars for things where you never throw them out, and if anything, you go out of your way to get them. This isn't quite that level. You could throw these out and not lose sleep over it. Again, it is only a Nidoran, which have been around completely prevalent everywhere since the game debuted over 3 years ago. So it's not quite 5 stars, but it's right on the edge. So this is a 4-star quest. There is no reason for you to not do this for the most part. If there's a weird exception, toss it, but sure. But this is the best quest out there. This is really good. Nidoran, Nidorinos, the Nidorans, you're not going to get a shiny off of it, so we'll just get that out of the way right now. But still, this is free dust, free catches, free candy for mass evolves, as that's still something to do in between raids. But yeah, this is going to rapidly increase your quest badge, and basically, once you get like 10 minutes of setup, it's game over for the rest of the event here. So great. So again, you think I'm wrong? You think I'm right? You think I'm quasi-right? You think I'm a moron? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Thanks, guys.